Along the life-giving banks of the River Nile, nestled between the bustling cities of Luxor and Aswan, stands a monument of breathtaking scale and preservation. This is the Temple of Edfu, a place where, honestly, the echoes of ancient Egypt feel astonishingly close. It is dedicated to Horus, the falcon-headed god, one of the most significant deities in the Egyptian pantheon. Imagine standing before it, the sheer size of its entrance pylon dominating the skyline, a statement of power and faith carved in stone. This temple isn't just a collection of ruins, it's a storybook, its walls covered in hieroglyphs and reliefs that have waited thousands of years to share their secrets with us. It's a testament to a belief system that shaped a civilization for millennia. The story of this particular temple begins not in the time of the Great Pyramid builders, but much later during the Ptolemaic Kingdom. This was a period when Greek kings, the successors of Alexander the Great, ruled Egypt. These new pharaohs were clever. They understood that to rule Egypt effectively, they needed to embrace its ancient traditions and gods. Building grand temples in the classical Egyptian style was a brilliant way to show respect and win the loyalty of the Egyptian people. So, in 237 BC, Ptolemy III laid the foundation stone for this magnificent structure, a project so vast it would take nearly 180 years to complete, a powerful gesture of cultural fusion. Why dedicate such an immense project to Horus? Because Edfu was believed to be the very place where the epic battle between Horus and his wicked uncle Set took place. For the ancient Egyptians, this wasn't just a myth. It was a foundational story about the triumph of order over chaos, of rightful kingship over usurpation. By honoring Horus here, the Ptolemaic rulers were cleverly aligning themselves with this cosmic victory. They were symbolically declaring that their rule, like that of Horus, was legitimate, divinely sanctioned, and a force for stability in the land of the Nile. It was a masterstroke of political and religious propaganda. The temple we see today is arguably the best preserved ancient temple in all of Egypt. Its survival is nothing short of a miracle. For centuries, it lay buried under the desert sand and the silt of the Nile, which protected it from the ravages of time, weather, and human interference. This long slumber kept its walls, its detailed carvings, and even its roof intact. When you step inside, you are not just looking at a ruin. You are walking through a complete architectural marvel, experiencing the space almost exactly as the ancient priests and worshippers would have. It's a direct, tangible link to a world that has long since vanished. To understand the Temple of Edfu is to understand its layout, a sacred journey designed to take you from the chaotic outside world into the divine presence of the god. The experience begins at the monumental gateway, or pylon. This massive structure, adorned with colossal reliefs of the pharaoh smiting his enemies before the gods, served as a powerful barrier. It was a clear declaration to all who approached that they were leaving the ordinary realm and entering a sacred space. Passing through this gate, you step into a vast open-air courtyard, surrounded by elegant columns. This was a public area where people could gather and make offerings. Moving deeper, you leave the sunlit courtyard and enter the first of two hypostyle halls. The change is immediate. The light dims and you find yourself in a forest of towering sandstone columns, their capitals carved to resemble blooming papyrus and lotus flowers. These halls were more exclusive, their access restricted to priests and officials. The intricate reliefs on the walls here don't just depict gods and pharaohs. They detail the complex rituals, the recipes for sacred incense, and the hymns that were performed within these hallowed spaces. Every carving had a purpose, a piece of the divine puzzle that kept the cosmos in balance. Beyond the halls, the temple becomes progressively smaller, darker, and more sacred. You pass through a series of antechambers, each one bringing you closer to the temple's heart. These rooms were used for preparing the daily offerings and for the priests to purify themselves before entering the most sacred area of all. The air grows still, the silence deepens. This architectural progression is deliberate, a carefully orchestrated journey designed to build a sense of awe and reverence. It's a physical representation of moving closer to the divine, a pathway that strips away the profane and prepares the soul for a divine encounter. Finally, you arrive at the sanctuary, the Holy of Holies. This small, dark chamber was the dwelling place of the god himself. Here, a golden statue of Horus would have been kept, hidden from all but the highest-ranking priest or the pharaoh. This was the nucleus of the temple, the point where the divine and earthly worlds met. Surrounding the sanctuary is a corridor with several small chapels dedicated to other deities. like a court surrounding a king. Standing in this space, even today, you can feel the immense spiritual weight and the profound mystery that was once concentrated in this very spot. The Temple of Edfu was a stage for one of the most important stories in Egyptian mythology, the great conflict between Horus and his uncle Set. According to the myth, the benevolent god Osiris was murdered and dismembered by his jealous brother Set. Osiris's wife Isis painstakingly reassembled his body and magically conceived their son, Horus. Raised in secret to protect him from his uncle, Horus grew up to become a powerful warrior, his destiny to avenge his father and reclaim the throne of Egypt. The walls of the temple are covered in dramatic reliefs depicting their legendary battles, showing Horus as a hero spearing Set, who is often depicted as a hippopotamus. This divine drama was not just a story, it was reenacted annually in one of the temple's most important celebrations, the Festival of the Beautiful Meeting. During this vibrant festival, the cult statue of Hathor, the goddess of love and joy, would travel by boat from her temple at Dendera to visit her divine husband Horus at Edfu. Their sacred reunion was a joyous occasion, celebrated with feasting, music, and processions. It symbolized cosmic harmony, fertility, and the renewal of life. For the local people, it was a time of immense celebration and a powerful reminder of the god's presence in their lives. The daily life of the temple was orchestrated by a complex hierarchy of priests. Their duties were not merely spiritual, they were essential for maintaining the cosmic order. Every day they would perform the opening of the mouth ceremony on the statue of Horus, a ritual that was believed to animate the statue so the god could see, hear, and receive offerings. They would wash and dress the statue in fine linen and present it with food and drink. These priests were also scholars, physicians, and astronomers, and the temple served as a great repository of knowledge, a university of its time. The temple was also a powerful economic engine for the entire region. It was a major landowner, controlling vast tracts of agricultural land, herds of cattle, and fleets of fishing boats. The harvests and goods from these estates flowed into the temple's storerooms, not only to feed the priests and staff but also to be redistributed to the community during festivals or times of need. Workshops attached to the temple employed artisans, scribes, and laborers. In this way, the Temple of Edfu was far more than a place of worship. It was the very heart of the local economy, providing stability and prosperity for thousands of people. As the old gods of Egypt gave way to Christianity and later Islam, the Temple of Edfu was abandoned. The rituals ceased, the priests departed, and the sacred halls fell silent. Over the centuries, the relentless desert winds and the annual flooding of the Nile slowly buried the magnificent structure. Sand, silt, and debris accumulated, and eventually a small village was built directly on top of the temple roof, its inhabitants likely unaware of the incredible treasure that lay just beneath their feet. For nearly 2,000 years, the great temple of the Falcon god was lost to the world, its secrets sleeping beneath the sand. Its rediscovery began in the mid-19th century, thanks to the pioneering work of French Egyptologist Auguste Mariette. He recognized the tops of the great pylons sticking out of the mound of sand and rubble and knew something extraordinary was hidden below. The process of excavating the temple was a monumental undertaking. Entire houses had to be carefully removed, and tons upon tons of sand and debris compacted over centuries had to be cleared away. What emerged was a structure of almost unbelievable completeness, a time capsule from the world of the Ptolemies that had been perfectly preserved by its sandy tomb. Today, the Temple of Edfu stands as a vital link to our shared human past. For historians and Egyptologists, its pristine condition and the wealth of inscriptions on its walls provide an unparalleled source of information. These texts offer incredible insights into Ptolemaic temple architecture, religious doctrine, mythology, and the daily rituals of ancient worship. It is a library of stone, allowing us to read and understand the beliefs of this ancient civilization in their own words. The temple isn't just beautiful, it's a primary source document of immense historical value, helping us piece together the puzzle of ancient Egypt. For the modern world, the temple's significance extends beyond academia. It is one of Egypt's most popular tourist destinations, drawing visitors from every corner of the globe who come to walk its sacred halls and marvel at its grandeur. This influx of tourism provides crucial income and employment for the local community, continuing the temple's ancient role as an economic cornerstone. As visitors wander through its courtyards and gaze up at the image of the triumphant falcon god, the Temple of Edfu continues to fulfill its purpose, to inspire awe and connect humanity across the vast gulf of time to the eternal story of order and divinity.